disappointed because we're going to find one that does work pretty soon. Oh man, that cannon. Ooh, that cannon. But going back to what I was talking about. With NPCs, before we met a pretty interesting NPC, it just, a lot of the NPCs that you encounter in the game are hidden behind doors or windows, and you don't actually see them. And even the ones that you do see, the ones that you rescue, they don't have names, and they just don't have much dialogue in the grand scheme of things. And even important NPCs like Alfred and Eileen, those are basically the two most important NPCs that you can interact with on a regular basis, and they've only got 2 events each. It's kind of crazy. So the NPCs that are in the game are good. Oh, yep, there we got a slow poison effect gem, but it's really a low effect. It's not really worth using at this point. Later in the game, when you get stronger poison gems, then it becomes something you might want to consider. But right now, it's just too low. Here we're going to go up here and we're going to unlock this shortcut. The game's NPCs are great, but we just don't get enough of them. There's just not enough content to their storylines. I would have loved to have seen a rival Hunter of Hunters for Eileen, or another Executioner for Alfred, so that we could have more interactions. But that's just me. I'm just a bro in a sea power shirt. What do I know? So, at this point, we're gonna take a break from the Forbidden Woods for a little bit and do a couple little side quests. This is basically, I consider this to kind of be the halfway point of the woods. And this is also the reason I killed those crows that were out here earlier, so that they don't surprise me when I come back through here. And every time I forget to kill them, I open that door and then they scare the shit out of me when they jump all over me. But we have this door unlocked now.
I am Volta, Master. Members of the League cleanse the streets of all the filth that spread about during the hunt. You've seen enough of these wretched beasts. Sentence these fiends to death. What do you say? Yes, commit the start. Our own carol. The night brims with defiled. Just think. Now hunt in cooperation with your... No, I think all do man.
This is the entrance lamp to the woods. You can see this is where we first started out. So we have this shortcut, and at this point I want to go back and explore a cave system that is actually... village that we were at earlier. I didn't explore it at the time because I wanted to go ahead and open this shortcut first. But as soon as you open the shortcut, that's probably a pretty good time to do it because all of the enemies are still going to be dead. So it's an easy run back and go and look through things real quick. At least that's what... I like to do it. Looking at some other viewer questions, Awesome Nightman asked me, "Hey Marcus, who is your persona waifu?" Chie. Is that even a real question? That can't be a legitimate question. Chie Sato fucking Naka. Luis RJ, or not Luis RJ asked, "Hey EpicNameBro, do you stream on Twitch? If so, can you link it?" I can't stream on Twitch because I don't have internet to support it. My internet is not fast enough. I tried one time to stream Dragon's Crown speedrun, challenge run thing that I was working on, but I just can't stream. Sorry. I really wish I could. I really, really, really wish I could. And it's not really a matter of money, at least not a realistic matter of money, because I have the fastest internet available in my area. The only way I would be able to get faster internet would be to rent an office space in a nearby town and get a commercial connection there. Look at all those bones in the ground, man. This is where the game gets really freaky. Those flower pods growing everywhere. Really pay attention to this area. Like, the fact that all these bones are kind of in the ground. This is kind of, how can I say it? There are tombs down here. Like, this is, people have been entombed. We've been seeing these graves all over the place, right? And we're about to see this very large grave. I don't know if it's a grave of a giant or if it's just a very large grave for an important person. But we've been seeing these bodies in the ground everywhere. Now, this is kind of, it's interesting to me. There are places in the world where there have been human settlements. There have been cities for so long that there are just graveyards on top of graveyards, and a city on top of it. A lot of us here in America can't really appreciate that. Like, everything's pretty spread out here. We normally wouldn't build buildings on top of graves, but there are legit catacombs, or catacombs, however. It's supposed to be said, catacombs. But here we see these corpses, like, they've been interred in the ground. Like, these are in the ground. Like, you see them in the wall and whatnot. And then we start climbing this ladder, and it's just kind of interesting to me that we start to see bodies that don't look like they were necessarily buried here. Instead, rather, they look like they've just been dumped here. Like, just disposed of, just thrown down and just kind of strewn about. Now, these don't look like they've been given a proper burial at all. Or else whatever was supporting them above maybe has broken, because you can see the broken beams there. But it's just really interesting to me that these bodies just look like they're just strewn about. Now, are these victims of the Scourge, perhaps, that have been disposed of here? And when you see where we actually are, when we get to the top of this ladder, that might actually start to make sense. Because we're in the graveyard next to the clinic in Central Yarnum. So we are all the way back in Central Yarnum. Of course, it's nighttime now. So we have this pit next to the clinic where they're disposing of bodies. They're just chucking them down a pit. Now, It could be that they've got the Scourge, and that's just the only way that they can handle this, the only way they can deal with it. They're not giving people a proper burial, they're just chucking down this pit. But something seems really odd, really fishy about this. Another thing, there is a ladder down this pit that leads all the way back down to the Forbidden Woods. Remember, these woods are forbidden. Like, they are off limits. You can't go there. They've been forbidden by the church. So, to have access to an area forbidden by the church. Just saying, there's lots of stuff to think about here, and there will be better answers as we continue on, I promise. Molotovs and bullets, fuck you, motherfucker. Not even gonna let you get close. While we're climbing up these ladders, we're actually scaling the clinic here. So while we're scaling the clinic and actually going around the back way in, True Poacher asked me. He said, "You keep calling some of these normal enemies hunters. The random nobody enemies. I've been calling them hunters." He said, "One of them, how do I know that they're hunters and not just random guys chained by the sickness?" There's two aspects to this. One that's fair and one that's unfair. The fair point is the fact that we've already seen lore that says that the first church hunter... Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. The first church hunter, Ludwig, he was recruiting normal Yarnamites to act as hunters. So we know that. We also know that normal, sane people are sealed away in their homes during the night of the hunt. So it seems pretty obvious that they're hunters. But the unfair part of this... Hold on. Right here. Yosefka's clinic. We came in the back way. The unfair part of this is the fact that the official guide will actually have the official names for all of the enemies from FromSoft. Like, these, not names that we made, like FromSoft sent us names, and those are in the guide. So once you start to see some of the enemies' names, it reveals the lore a little bit. This freaky looking blue pod people, looks like an alien, has this green blood, actually Yosefka. That was the real Yosefka there. And you may be saying, look man, Yosefka was this cute blonde girl, she was best waifu. Yes, you're right. But she's now a little blue pod person that we just killed mercilessly. And you may be saying, how do you know that's Yosefka? Well, I'll tell you after we talk about this Canehurst summons.